everyone, and welcome to the Chamber Exchange, where ideas turn to impact. I'm your host, Rachel Johnson, and I'm really glad you're here for our very first episode. This podcast is all about bringing people together, local leaders, small business owners, nonprofits, and the folks who are out there making things happen in Wagoner. We're here to talk about the ideas, the collaborations, and behind-the-scenes stories that move our community forward. Every episode, we're diving into real conversations that spark action, growth, and connection. To kick things off, we're starting with someone who knows this community inside and out, our Chamber Executive Director, Christin Warrior. We're talking about the Chamber's vision, what's ahead for 2026, and how we're working to support the people and businesses that make Wagoner special. Let's jump in. So today we're kicking things off with somebody who plays a huge role in all of what we do at the Chamber, Christin Warrior, our Executive Director. Thank you so much for doing this and letting me interview you. So let's just start off with your role. Can you kind of tell me about what you do at the Chamber and what all that entails?
My role at the Chamber, I feel, is really part of connecting people. That would be the main thing that I do, is putting people in contact with other businesses, just that overall connection, building relationships and things like that.
Yeah, so important. And how long have you been with the Chamber?
I've been with the Chamber, over 3 years. So 3 years, 4 months, something like that.
Yeah. I know, just with our talking in the office and getting to know you personally, I mean, as my boss, but how did you get started in Chamber leadership?
So actually it's kind of funny because I got started really just from word of mouth in Wagoner. And the previous director had reached out, and she was leaving, and kind of thought that this would be something that I'd be really good at. I had never worked with a nonprofit before. I'd never worked in like a more community type role. It was always a business side, but it was on the medical side. So stepping into this was completely new. But I loved just connecting people with things. I loved putting on events, things like that. She kind of knew me personally a little bit to know that about me, and just felt like it'd be something good. And then when I looked more into the role, I was still confused of what the Chamber was. But I got in here, and I've loved it ever since.
Right. That's it. And you're so good at it. You're so good at your job. Yes, you do a great job. And I know that it is a lot sometimes, the day in and day out, and you kind of wear multiple hats in your role. Do you feel like you have anything that motivates you in your position?
I think the biggest motivation for me is that it's not just a job, it's personal for me. My kids go to school here. I've lived here my whole life. It's the community I want to see thrive. And so I want better for my kids. They're going to be the next generation coming up in this town.
Yes.
So seeing that growth here, seeing things happen is more important to me than just my job.
Absolutely. And I think that it's different for really anyone, especially when you have kids involved. You want to make their community better, and just being in the role with the Chamber, you really get to see the up close growth that's happening in our community, which is super exciting. Speaking of growth, I know that there's a lot of projects and partnerships that happen within the Chamber. Can you kind of tell me what that looks like, or where that's going for the new year?
We kind of transitioned when we were talking about change within the Chamber. We transitioned from a event aspect to more of a business growth aspect. So that's been a little bit different over the last year, and I'm really excited about the different changes we have with that, because we're bringing in more advocacy trainings, more lunches that are focused on things like that, more business trainings when it comes to learning how to do your Canva or things like. So instead of doing bigger events, it's more of focusing on the smaller business aspect.
Right, like resourcing small businesses. So speaking of small business, what does that look like at the chamber, like small business support just on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day, it could be anything from just sharing their posts for them on social media,
right.
Advocating for them, meeting with city leaders to talk about things that might be going on so that they are in the know, because they can't always attend things. So it's kind of being that middle step-in person. It could also be, planning for an event that they can be a part of in some sort of way. Also just connecting them with other businesses locally,
Yes.
answering questions. A lot of the time, we have a lot of businesses that'll reach out, or just a citizen reach out looking for something in the community.
So true.
So just really connecting our businesses that are, members of the chamber with those answers.
Right. The amount of calls that we get at the office calling for resources, calling for, hey, I'm coming to Wagoner for this event this weekend, or I'm going out to the lake. What are some good spots to eat or shop? All the time, even the weird things.
Yeah. I don't think that people really understand that people call us for that, because before I started with the chamber, I had no idea that was a thing.
Right.
To call the chamber and say, what restaurants do you have? Or, where can I stay for the weekend? I didn't know that that was even a thing. I just used Google. But people actually call all the time for that. And
it's true.
Being able to say, you know what, we have this really good local restaurant. You should try this one when you come this weekend. It makes you feel like you're really helping build, our community.
It's so true. And, talking about Google, sometimes people look on Google for what to eat in Wagoner or what to do. But if you really want personal connection of, hey, what are the best local spots, the chamber is going to know.
Yes.
The chamber is absolutely going to know. And we love giving those shout outs. I have people that call for random things that I'm like, well, I don't really know who the best squirrel exterminator is, but I'll find a number for you, or plug them in with one of our members, and then they can help them, point them in the best direction. But like you said, it's about that connecting people with people and really just honing in on reminding our small businesses that we're here to advocate for them and connect them with potential business. So yeah, that's so true. I wouldn't have thought to call the chamber either, truthfully. Before I started with the chamber, I also would have done that. But I feel like you lose out on so much. So we would like to take a moment to thank our chamber members. You're the reason this work matters. Every business, nonprofit, and community partner who shows up, collaborates, and shares ideas is helping move Wagoner forward. Your support fuels the programs, connections, and conversations that turn ideas into real impact. So whether you've been with us for years or you're brand new to the chamber, thank you for being part of this community and for believing in what we're building together. So speaking of new adventures, the chamber is doing, I know this podcast was something that came up. What inspired you to start a podcast for the chamber?
We were looking for ways to really give our businesses more recognition in a fun way. There's a lot of growth going on in Wagoner, and a lot of people see negativity when they come to Wagoner or they get on social media pages. We wanted to kind of give an opposite effect of that, where they can watch something that's more positive about the growth here, give some details about how businesses are growing, how they're doing, what they do behind the scenes every day, and in a more fun and positive way.
Yeah, the uplifting. And I think just from what we've talked about, the voices in Wagoner, there can be so many negative voices and so many things coming in, but giving our businesses a voice that they might otherwise not get because they're not on social media, and they're trying to learn how to do that, and we're trying to connect them with resources for that. But it might be a good way for them to be on the show and share their story, share their vision for their business, and let community members hear about that. So I think that that's so great. Within the community and just you talking about the positivity, I think that that's a real thing that a lot of people see on a day-to-day basis is, you know, phones in our hands, we see the negativity. How do you feel like the chamber is contributing to the positive spirit or just the community spirit in Wagoner?
Our main focus is to provide, you know, that advocacy and things like that in our community. So being able to provide a lunch or something that, you know, brings in city leaders to talk about things that are growing here in town, or to bring in, you know, all of our city leaders, or even the school system when we do our state of education, where you're bringing in those superintendents and principals to talk about our school system and the positive side of like how our school's growing, because that's where the next generation is coming up.
Right.
So being that person that brings that positive side of it, and being, you know, the organization that is there to fill in that gap of, yes, you might hear negativity about Wagoner or a business or things like that, but we're here to show you the positive side of it.
Right. Yeah. It just give people that opportunity, because I don't know any other time aside from going to a city meeting or asking for a meeting, a school board meeting. You know, there's not a lot of opportunities that we get to hear from those officials.
Yeah.
And I love that the chamber does that, provides those opportunities, and does it in a way that's comfortable and is just everyone's there with a shared mission. And so I really love that about the chamber. Are there any other upcoming events that you're excited about that the chamber is doing this year?
Yes, I'm actually really excited about our new event. It's kind of not really new, but it's new to us. You know, we've been asked several times over the last couple of years to bring back an event that was more kind of like the Chili Fest and things like that. And although we can't bring back that exact festival, we want to bring back something more for the community to engage in, to be able to come downtown and have fun, bring their families to do things. And so I'm most excited about the event we're bringing back in October, which is going to be called Main Street Heat. So super excited about that one. I don't personally enter chili contests, but I will love to try them all.
Chili, right? I know. I'm the same way.
So you know, just seeing kids downtown, including my own, that are, you know, playing on inflatables or listening to, you know, music, live music, and you see all those people down there, it's what really makes you enjoy your job.
Right. I know a lot of people have compared our Christmas parade to like, oh, this makes you feel like you're in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
Like just the nostalgia. And I grew up going to that chili festival. And so it is also for me like just such a childhood memory.
Yeah.
And being able to bring that back, I think a lot of people are going to be excited. But also I hope that this is another thing that makes Wagoner feel like that Hallmark movie. Like we're all down here, we're listening to music, eating good food, and also just building those connections with people back to the businesses or the individuals that are entering in the contest. So yeah, enter in your chili. Enter in your chili. We're going to need people because not everybody can be tasting. You got to have something.
I'll be tasting.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna be pregnant. No, you won't be pregnant.
I won't be pregnant then.
She'll be pregnant during Summerfest.
I'll have a 4-month-old baby at that time, though. It'll be pushing around.
That's crazy. Summerfest, all of the fun things happening. That I think that there's just so many awesome opportunities. If somebody sees something like an event getting ready to happen, how could they get involved? Whether that's member, non-member, individual, how can people get involved?
The best way to get involved is volunteering. You know, we always accept volunteers. And if you can't volunteer your time, because I know that time is money for a lot of people, and there's other ways. You can also, you know, get into a committee for that event. If you just like to plan behind the scenes, if you want to be able to suggest changes or things that to make the event better that you might think of that we don't always think of, being a part of those committees and being able to build that event on the back end if you can't volunteer. And then, of course, if you can't, give your time, you can always do sponsorship opportunities where your business is still present and you're still, promoting the event, you're still giving back to the event and engaging in the event in a way where you can't give your time.
So true. We're always trying to come up with new ideas to resource them and help them grow and drive business. But I do think that sponsorships, if there is a specific event that they're just so excited about or that they feel aligns best with their business, it's so great to have your name out there and for people to see that, because they might be reminded in that moment, like, oh, I need to go visit them, or I need to go and get this from them that I've been meaning to. It just reminds them of your presence here in the community. If you, like you said, you can't be there physically because time is money for a lot of people. This break is brought to you by, well, maybe you. We're currently welcoming future sponsors of the Chamber Exchange podcast. If your business wants to reach local leaders, entrepreneurs, and community-minded listeners, contact the Wagoner Area Chamber of Commerce to learn more. What should people be looking out for, like in the upcoming months?
We have the State of Wagoner event that we're launching in March. It's going to be at the Civic Center on March 19th? I think it's 19th. Yes, sorry. I think it's the third Thursday in March at noon. And we've opened that up to not just chamber members. Typically, our general membership lunches are focused on membership. But we've actually opened this one up to the community because we just want to be able to be that advocacy that's being put out there, be that positive impact of what's going on in our city leadership, what changes are happening in Wagoner, what you can expect to take place in the next year, hear from those city leaders, ask them questions. It's really important. So that event is taking place that you can see coming up, open to anybody to attend. We're hoping to, either live stream it or do some sort of video content for it. For those that can't make it because it is during a work day. And then, of course, we have our banquet coming up in March as well. That's coming very quickly. So if that's the best way for businesses to meet other local businesses and then networking opportunity there, because that's our biggest event when it comes to our businesses gathering together, having dinner, acknowledging, winners and things like that from last year and giving those awards out to our local businesses. So it's really just important to be part of something like that.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, Summerfest is coming up soon.
So soon.
Sooner than we think it is, because once March 1st hits, it's just so quick it comes up full plan mode. So we're really excited about all the events, which, I mean, you work with the chamber, so
I am excited. I'm so excited. It's so hard. One side being with the chamber and my background, like I do have experience putting on events and doing all these things. It's so much better being here in my community and being able to put on these events for my community. Like you said, it's a whole different feeling. You just have so much more. I mean, you have a lot riding on the event. We have a lot that goes into it. I've never really put on events to this size, so that's something that I've enjoyed getting to experience with the chamber. But it's so fun. Like I will say, this job is so fun, and I'm thankful for all the people that I meet and all of the interactions that we have, because it's all focused on giving back to our hometown. And whether you're new to Wagoner or you've grown up here your whole life like me and you, it's all about giving back to the community and community growth in that. So you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that. So before we wrap up, I want to get a little personal. All fun, all in good fun. What is one thing that you love most about Wagoner, if you had to say?
What I love most is definitely the people. Being here my whole life, I've met a lot of people, but being in this particular role, I've met even greater people.
Right.
So you can't beat that or find that anywhere else. I don't know what it's like being in a bigger city like Tulsa or something like that, or even smaller city than Wagoner, but this particular community has the best people that are always willing to give you the shirt off their back, or you can call them and they're willing to help you. And so that partnership here is something that I don't feel like I could find anywhere else. And I know that with my kids coming up in the next generation, I want them to be able to feel that as well.
Right. It's so important in a day and age where everything is online and all of our interactions are online. I think getting involved with local organizations like the Chamber, or we have so many other amazing organizations within our community, is so important, because building those ties and those relationships, you can't beat it. You won't get that on a phone. And like you said, for your kids, because those are going to be people that your kids know, and then your kids know their kids, and it all builds. So true, everything. What would you say, do you have like a go-to local spot or a place that you go for inspiration or just don't miss? I know the answer. I know the answer.
Really, my go-to spot probably would be the coffee line to Hopefield Coffee from Monday or from Wednesday to Friday. As soon as I drop my kids off, you're probably going to find me in that line before I head to work to deal with whatever the day-to-day chaos might be.
I don't blame you. Caffeine, it's so important in this role, but you can't. Hopefield, man. They're good.
So a lot of the time when Wagoner 411 will post a photo of their coffee line, there's like 15 cars deep, and like my car is always there,
right there, ready
every time, and I'm just like, oh, face palm, but there's my car. Next time, I want them to tell me they're taking the photo so I can like wave or something. Like, here again. But yes, I also like to go to the smaller businesses that people don't think about often to grab a bite to eat, or step in, just keep continuing to support them.
Yeah. Shop local, man. It's so important, and I think we miss that sometimes. Speaking of like caffeine and so important for our job, have to have it every day. Chaos coordinator should probably be with your title. If you think that the Chamber had a theme song, what would you say? What do you think it would be?
Theme song. Okay, so I can think of two. Definitely, and this one is because of events that comes top of my mind, would be the Inspector Gadget theme song.
Right.
Because we have to have so many like go-go gadgets all the time. And so I think that theme song would probably be the one that comes to mind. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember like fully what the theme song is, because that's such an older movie.
But it's very on.
It is on point with what the Chamber does, because every day is different. Events, we do have to have our go-go gadgets. So that one, and then probably what's that song when there's a kid movie of it? It's like High School Musical.
Oh yeah,
we're all in this together. That one. Those would be my theme songs.
That's for so sure. Good. I think if I had to, I would love. I don't know if you were ever a Office, like The Office with Steve Carell. I don't know if you ever really got into that show, but I would love to have the theme song with that, like with us in the office and like our board members. I think it would just be
we do a lot of TikToks based around that show.
Yes, and
they're funny.
Also, I thought of Welcome to the Jungle. I think that's a very
Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah, that's a good theme song for my household and also for work.
It applies to work and personal life. It could go either way. I feel like I'm the same. So before we close, is there anything that you would like to share with our listeners or a message to our members in the community?
Get involved, even if that is just supporting your local business. Stopping by on the weekends and saying, I need to pick this up, and remembering to give back to our community. Because without those small businesses here and without giving back, Wagoner is not going to continue to grow. It's not going to continue to flourish and be something moving in a positive direction. So we just have to remember to give back as much as possible.
So true.
It's so easy to quickly get on Amazon and order something when you could go right down the street to Walmart and get that same item and be giving back locally.
Right.
I'm guilty of it.
The difference that it makes, because I think what people forget is, like, when you're shopping local, not only are you supporting that small business to keep their doors open,
right,
but like the sales tax, it goes back to our community. And there's sales tax and stuff that gets taken into Amazon and things that way, but it's not the same.
Right.
And also just that relationship that it builds with the business. Because I know for a lot of our small businesses, sometimes they're like, what's the point? Like, if people are going to shop online or they're going to do something. But I think that was really well said.
Yeah, a lot of our small businesses too are, they're eager to meet the people of Wagoner.
So true.
So they want that connection as well. They want to be able to know your name and your face when you come in and have that personal connection with you. So that's important.
It's so much more personable, and it supports our community.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Christin, so much for coming on here and just letting me pick your brain about the chamber and share our vision with our listeners. I'm really excited about this conversation getting out into our community. And then to everyone listening, thank you for joining us on our first episode. We have many more to come, so stay tuned. We're here to shine a light on the ideas and the people that are shaping Wagoner and the collaborations that turn into real impact in our community. We're just getting started, and we can't wait to share what's next. But make sure to follow the Wagoner Area Chamber of Commerce on Facebook to stay up to date on all the events that are coming up, the dates that Christin said, as well as when our next episode is coming out. Thank you so much.